If the outcome of that game had been different, the NBA would not be the same. It wasn't just a game. It wasn't just a ring. On that night in 2016, LeBron James's legacy was at stake.
Throws it ahead to Smith. Smith, alley-oop to James! Wow!
It had been 2 years since he had returned to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he needed to bring a championship to the city any way he could. His decision in 2009 had cost him a lot of animosity from the city's fans, and now he needed to return the favor. His problem? That his obstacle to breaking the city of Cleveland's drought was literally the best team in regular season history. The Golden State Warriors were in their moment of dominance. There was no team playing basketball like them, and there was no team that could stop their innovative offensive system. After posting a record of 73 wins and 9 losses during the regular season, Golden State wanted to put the icing on the cake on an unforgettable season, and they were overwhelming favorites to do so. When Klay Thompson said LeBron's feelings might be hurt, a new beast was awakened. LeBron was already a legendary player because of his rings in Miami, but he wasn't nearly the loved player he is today. People weren't seriously putting him in the GOAT debate. In fact, until he fulfilled his debt to Cleveland fans, James never got that candidate status. The Warriors were winning the series 3-1. Everyone thought they had already won. Never in the history of the finals had any team been able to come back from that deficit, but the Cavs, benefited by Draymond's suspension during Game 5, were still alive. After winning Game 5 in the Bay Area, they had to win Game 6 at any cost.
James throws it inside again to Thompson.
The problem for LeBron was that Steve Kerr's Warriors were not only one of the best offensive systems in history, if not the best to that point. They also had players with attitude who were elite on defense. Andre Iguodala and Draymond Green looked like a dream combo for any team that aspired to stop LeBron James. But sometimes, that's just not good enough. As the game begins, the Cleveland Cavaliers put everything on the table. Both the players and a packed stands that want the Cavs to travel to Golden State one more time before the season ends. But the moment of truth has arrived. Bron's energy is always present from the beginning of games. The man was on a mission. He shows it on plays like this one, where he comes out in transition like a bullet and gets fouled trying to finish in front of Draymond and Iggy. It's no secret. Transition was James's infallible weapon. He was not only one of the fastest players, but also one of the strongest. A combination that makes you practically unguardable. He proves it again a few seconds later, when he palms the ball that Klay Thompson has for Jeff Green to find him on fast break for the easy dunk. In half-court offense, Tyrone Lue's team always tried to make screens to get mismatches. This is a perfect example in which James is in a low-post ISO against Steph. I think everyone knows what was going to happen here, right? Shortly after, Kyrie finds LeBron again in transition on the left block, and the Akron native gets the easy basket. The Cavs are up 13-2 in the first few minutes of the game. They are showing their hunger.
Irving fakes, drives, James on the throwdown!
LeBron knew that the Warriors' attention to him would allow him to show off his court vision. As in this play in which he manages to throw an incredible pass to J.R. Smith in an awkward situation, who scores the three-pointer. Or this play where Bron finds Tristan Thompson's cut, who finishes with an easy dunk by using his speed. Thompson was also a good screener, and LeBron used it all the time to get away from Iguodala. Once he got to the paint, he was really hard to stop, but whenever the Warriors tried to do a 2 versus 1, James always made the right decision. Look what a spectacular pass he throws to Tristan Thompson that brings the difference to 21 points on the scoreboard. The Cavaliers were feasting. Despite that, Lue decides to give LeBron a short break for a few minutes, in which, well, the Cavs did not do too well. Golden State cut into the lead, but luckily James was about to get back on track. At this stage of his career, Bron was already a quality shooter and was able to create his shot off the dribble. And well, even though Steph wasn't having the performance of his life, a weak performance from him was the equivalent of a good performance from any mortal. Look at what a three-pointer he manages to score in transition. The degree of difficulty is simply unbelievable, but Bron was still at it, finding open teammates like Tristan Thompson in this play, or Dante Jones in this other one, who thanks to a good cut scores the easy basket. Meanwhile, he kept scoring with ease on the Warriors that kept using help defense to try to slow him down. Even though he had his best stopper in front of him, as many people considered Iggy to be the best defender for LeBron at the time, nothing really stopped him from going at him hard and getting it done. The Warriors managed to close the deficit by 4 points in the second quarter, but the bad news was that they were still down by 16. Bron's dominant performance, thanks to his playmaking ability and scoring, was allowing Cleveland to enjoy a comfortable game. In the third quarter, though, the Warriors came out strong. LeBron was doing it all. On this play, he first grabs the offensive rebound and then finds J.R. Smith with a spectacular pass that scores the three-pointer. The truth is that the rest of the Cavs players, other than Kyrie, couldn't generate too many advantages for him. However, on some occasions, they were able to. In this case, Bron gets the ball after a good offensive play and attacks the rim, getting the layup. Shortly after, JR finds LeBron again with one of the most iconic plays of all the finals.
Irving throws it ahead to Smith. Smith, alley-oop to James! Wow!
And as always, with aggressiveness, as in this case in which Bron tries a spin move, followed by a pump fake, which allows him to draw the foul. And to close the quarter, he gets the mismatch after the screen that leaves him with a Zaylee, and proceeds to score a triple on his face. In the third quarter, the Warriors had closed the gap, but in the fourth quarter, LeBron decided to go one more gear to establish his dominance. Harrison Barnes was a good defender, but not for Bron. In ISO, the King only had to go to the low post to take advantage. His floater game was also on point. When defended by smaller players like Leandro Barbosa, he was always able to score over them. All that while dominating the game on defense, like in this block to Draymond after a great outlet pass from Curry. Also active in the offensive glass, where thanks to plays like this, he was able to generate points out of nothing.
That's his third. Irving misses. James, offensive rebound, back up.
Second chance points were also key in the Cavs' win that night. Barbosa was still having trouble guarding LeBron, who again was able to score fadeaways over him. A shot that has already become iconic, which he also used in the play in which he became the all-time leading scorer years later. Kyrie was also able to take advantage for Bron, although in this Game 6 he was a bit more subdued. On this play, he makes a great inside pass to LeBron after driving baseline that James scores easily in the paint. J.R. Smith was also making some shots that night, and Bron kept sending him balls that turned into assists. He kept attacking the rim, driving against Iguodala, and using all his bag to finish with his fade away, always finding Tristan, who was his other ally of the night. Again and again. Near the end of the game, James gets a block on Curry that will remain engraved in the memory of all basketball fans just before trash-talking him. I think we can hear the
says to the two-time MVP, get it out of here.
After handing out one last assist to J.R. Smith with his quick trigger from the corner, LeBron scores one last dagger in his defender's face from the left wing. He made it. With his performance of 41 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 blocks, James has gotten the Cavaliers through another day. But we all know that was just the beginning. LeBron won that Game 7 with a 27-point, 11-rebound, 11-assist performance, in which he also came up with the most transcendent block of his career. After the betrayal Cavs fans felt in 2009, LeBron had finally paid his debt. Cleveland fans enjoyed the end of a drought that affected their teams in every major league. The value of that Game 6 victory to LeBron James's legacy is incalculable. He managed to beat the best team in history with a far less competitive roster, leaving it all on the court night in and night out. His dominance was so devastating for the Warriors that they were quick to look for alternatives to prove their dominance again, and ended up signing Kevin Durant himself that summer. Thus was built a dynasty whose only goal was to beat LeBron James. Yeah, that's one more reason why LeBron James is in the GOAT debate.